The dog era has embarked upon us because he's here. I'm not even gonna say his name yet, because if you say it 3 times, he might show up on the set behind me.
I hope.
Welcome back to the Breakroom, everybody. We are on Twitch, we are on YouTube, and we are in your hearts to tell you your deepest desires and to give you the tools you need to live your greatest life. We're talking about the Ironheart finale, the final 3 episodes of Ironheart, episodes 4, 5, and 6, and the certain someone who shows up in them. I'm here with Jess and Gina. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello. hello.
This is gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm trying to wear a lot of hats right now.
You have how many computers?
I got 2 different computers. I got another computer controlled downstairs.
By my toes.
It's a hat. It's a hat on a hat.
It's a hat on a hat, and that hydro flask is just an espresso.
I'm gonna try to be in the chat, and look, now that you have Don't Wake Daddy here in the chat, I'm if any of you cross any lines that I just even if I misread it, you're getting in timeout. I just I don't have patience for people who are gonna be a little too spicy with trying to make fun of me for Mephisto things, or anybody who says a little thing, anything unkind. Just keep it to yourself, because nothing against you. It's just the fact that we do this on YouTube doesn't give you the right to just say whatever you want in our chat and force everyone to look at it. So that's why I'm taking this kind of hard stance right now.
No
I
spice.
love all you guys.
Don't get spicy. White people hate spice.
Don't put any paprika on my potato salad. Just a few raisins.
The syllables you put in potato salad. Potato salad.
Falls in the cheese, David. I can't do everything for you. But I love you guys. I'm happy to be here with everybody. We got Michaela running the show behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Michaela's back.
Michaela.
Hi, Michaela. All right, are you guys ready to get? Well, let's see. I want to try to say hi to some people who are joining us, who are saying nice things. If you are so inclined and are able to support us, if you are able to give us something via super chat, I will see it definitely. But I want to thank all of you: Astro Mac, DJ, Todd, Steven, Burrows, Daniel Gonzalez, Cam Reed, Polad Ismailyov, Josiah Trower, Tina, Lena Bombina, who loves
That's what I also
Jessica's jersey.
I was like, that's also the nickname I give Gina.
That is a sweet ass jersey you got on.
Yeah, dude, I bought this. I fell for the Instagram ads, dude. But it's an actual, it's a targeted ad, and it's an actual company. It's so easy to look it up. They have more than just this one. They have the Silver Surfer that's purple and blue. Nah, I went for this. I went for the guy.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice.
We got Bro in the chat as well. Thank you for your super chat saying gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con this year. Hope to see you guys there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be there. We'll see. We're trying to see if I can get some lodging set up. But
Eric will be there, but he'll be in a full-on costume, so you have to guess who he is.
You have to guess who he is. You gotta smell him.
That's right. You'll smell me first.
The Swedish fish a mile away.
And Bro, I believe you are one of the executive producers on the new Rockstars channel. Bro, at some point you gotta tell us the origin of why you just go by Bro. It's so fun to read your name at the end of videos.
Bro,
thank you, executive producer
Bro.
Michaela, I am getting some feedback in the chat that my camera 1 is a little bright. But if you see that, viewers, it might just be because I'm glowing. I'm like, the end of an episode of Touched by an Angel, how they just start glowing when a divine presence makes themselves known.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Or Eric's been dead this whole time.
I haven't. I've been resurrected. He is risen.
He has
Hashtag
risen.
he is risen.
There was a reason they could not premiere this in April.
We're going to start celebrating Easter on July 1st every year.
I'm fine with that. Dude, move it to July.
Put those eggs out in the sun.
Oh, yeah, never mind. I take it back. Ooh, that's gross.
If it is an issue, Michaela, you can just stay. You don't ever have to cut to me in close-up. You can just keep me in wide with my 2 favorite people. I mean, I feel better supported.
Actually, give me a second. Can you get up for 1 minute?
Yeah.
Oh.
1 minute.
Whoa.
I wonder if it adjusts down for black skin.
Oh.
But then, well, I'm not working the computer.
But then
I look great. I'm
I've-
dead.
Oh no, now Jessica's dead.
Are you like Io and Abiri in that SNL sketch? Oh, no!
We're dropping like flies.
It's like the funniest thing on SNL that
And
I've
this
seen.
chair is just literally the hot seat.
Sorry. In the meantime, Silhouetted Animator, thank you for your super chat asking, do you think the cliffhanger was set up for the Strange Academy show?
Ooh, we're
that
gonna get into
may or may not
that.
happen after the multiverse saga. Yeah, we'll talk about that
Yeah, we're
on
gonna
the
get into
show today.
it.
Well, we may even get some answers on it. We don't want to spoil how we're gonna get those answers, but yeah, I think you might be onto something. So how do we want to do this? Do we just want to go live and then
We'll do it
the
live.
void camera one? And if we cut to it, it's fine. What I'll do is I'll do a bit if we do ever cut to me, I'll go glowing.
Yeah. It's a jump scare every time it cuts.
What
to
is
you.
that episode of The Simpsons when it's actually Mr. Burns and everyone thought he was the alien that was glowing?
Oh yeah.
You just do that every
Comes every Friday night. Like Urkel.
So stupid.
Let's just get into
Yeah,
it.
let's get into it.
All right, guys. Here we go. I'm controlling two computers.
You are in control.
All right. Welcome back to the break room. Who knew that Mephisto was the Beyonce to Dormammu's Kelly Rowland?
Did you write that?
Sheeta wrote
Did
it.
you write
Sheeta
that?
wrote it.
I wrote it.
Wait. Who knew that Mephisto was the Beyonce? I'm not gonna get into it.
Listen,
I'm not
he
gonna
was
get
so
into it.
offended when he was like,
I would-
Dormammu, that bitch?
I would change Kelly Rowland to Jennifer Hudson.
Oh,
To Dormammu to Jennifer
wow.
Hudson. But that's for fighting words. That's fighting words.
Who knew that Dormammu was the crack to Mephisto's Whitney Houston? No, because ultimately that's what did her in.
And also, Mephisto
I'm
doesn't
so
like.
sad. I
Mephisto
wake up
doesn't
every day.
like Dormammu.
Dormammu's whack.
Yeah.
But at the
She-
beginning,
Mephisto
that
was
cheap
like,
whack was great.
Dormammu's a hack.
Yeah.
Why are you associating me with that hack?
Hack is whack.
Whack is whack.
Well, here we go. It is the Ironheart after show. Let's play that graphic.
After show.
Hey.
Yeah.
What's that Mephisto violin riff? We did it, Joe! He's here! Mephisto is finally here! He's confirmed! He's in the MCU! Oh, wait. Spoilers were on the thumbnail for this video, so I don't have to
Wait, the
verbally say
thumbnail's
it.
on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the thumbnail has spoilers, so if you knew you got in this, you
Also,
knew what was
You
gonna
know what you're
happen.
getting into it.
But I'm so sure online there was someone that did it as soon as that second dropped.
Oh, yeah. Even
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Even before.
Hey, I'm sorry for bringing up Whitney. My heart breaks every time I hear anything from her that.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, more like it's too soon, and I agree. That was too soon. And we just
year
had a
is
rumor
it?
rundown where I said everybody who's not on Dropout who's on YouTube making jokes is bad at jokes. And here I am now, proving my own point. Well, I'm Eric Voss, already gonna go back into my hole of shame after that. But joining me today are, she just wants to know what the hell is up with all the damn frogs. It's Jessica Clemens.
There's so many frogs, and I rewatched it today, and I swear to God, once you get to Zelma Statton's little underground shop, the turtle makes a croaking noise. I am obsessed with the frogs in this show. I don't address it, but I heard it, and I was like,
And she'd sell her soul for one bite of deep dish pizza. It's Gina Ippolito.
Listen, there's not much that I wouldn't sell my soul for. I'd do it for a half-eaten sandwich.
I don't know. And again, to bring up The Simpsons, every time I think of like Homer selling his soul for the donut, and they're like, no,
Oh,
he did it again.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
that would be me, and I was like, I can't do this.
I am obsessed with the pizza in this episode,
Oh,
or the
yeah.
final episode, because
yeah.
like they made a big point in one of the behind the scenes promos of like, we made sure to get the square cut high, and it's like, you did cut it square, but it's still not tavern style, because tavern style doesn't have that thick of a crust. Tavern style goes mostly all the way with the cheese to. Anyway,
Maybe they made it
just gotta Papa
special
John's.
just for him. He was like, we can send it back as many times as you want.
Well, there's also some weird logic because he serves a slice to Parker, but then he already has a slice. So did Mephisto already eat an entire pizza before Parker sat
It
down?
just keeps reappearing. It just keeps like,
Every
the
time,
bite, the
yeah,
bite.
it goes back into the pizza 100%. 100%.
It could be. It could be. So here's what we're going to be talking about on the show today. We're going to talk about the Mephisto of it all. What's his end game? We're going to talk about some possible teases of Strange Academy. And we're going to talk about, is Riri Williams really going to lose her soul? Really, we're going to review this entire show and how great it was, like how much fun this show really was, and I personally feel like we could have doled these out 2-2-2 instead of 3-3, just to spend a bit more time with these characters, because I loved living in this corner of the MCU these 2 weeks.
You know, there's one like exhausted parent to a newborn that's like, I can't watch 3. I didn't watch 3, and now I know that Mephisto's here.
I mean, they warmed them up by doing that with Andor, right? Just dropping them and being like, look, you adults, have fun.
Yeah, they're like,
spreading it
you
out.
got to stay up late now.
Oh my goodness.
Well, just a reminder, please go to nerdriot.shop. That is your one-stop shop for all the greatest and nerdy gear, shirts, hoodies, and more. I'm wearing our Future Foundation shirt. We have some really, really cool Ironheart-inspired designs. That is really one of the best ways you can support us at New Rockstars and get a great gift option for that special demon in your life.
I get a lot of compliments. This is one of my favorites. I like the cut of it, and I get a lot of compliments. People are like, is that Deadpool over Wolverine? And I'm like, yeah, nerdriot.shop, yo.
Nerdriot.shop.
We also encourage you to check out our highlights channel, New Rockstars Highlights, where we clip out some really fun moments from our podcasts, Sneak Peek and Rumor Rundown. And we also have an audio-only service called In Our Underground, which if you want to support us as we're doing some kind of off-topic, tangential, ranty conversations, and if you just like consuming us through podcasting, that's one way you can do it. And we have our great podcast called The Danger Room, and we're going to have more shows coming up there soon. So let's recap what happens in these at the ending of Ironheart. Go watch Jessica's Easter egg breakdowns on the New Rockstars channel. She found so many cool things and did a great job analyzing it.
Easter eggs and frog eggs.
Eggs of all
The
kinds.
video won't come out for a minute, though.
Yeah, maybe by the time you watch this on YouTube later, it's out there, but yeah, such a great job. So we get some more of Parker Robbins' backstory. He and John are robbing a mansion, and we find out later that it belongs to Parker's dad, Arthur Robbins, founder of Artworks. The robbery goes wrong, and John shoots a security guard. He and Parker flee the scene with the rest of Arthur's security team chasing them. Parker's cornered, and that's when he sees it. The door to Desperito's Pizza, and oh my God, Sacha Baron Cohen is there.
So good.
So good.
He's so good. Honestly, this made me like love him even more.
Yeah.
Like I was like, damn, am I in love with Sacha Baron Cohen now?
I like his English accent or his American accent.
I think he's like cutting between a few in there.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, did he just switch again?
He's fun.
And we don't know at first if he is Dormammu or Mephisto. I, at this point, am convinced he's Mephisto. But he, it's because these episode 4 and episode 5, once we go to the sweet shop, we kind of they do a good job teasing us, thinking that it might be, it might be Dormammu.
Dormammu doesn't have that drip though.
Doesn't have that, I don't think he has like really a shoulder or neck.
Or feet.
He's just sitting in front of the pizza, just a little head going.
I've never seen him with a nose, so I don't think he's really of a person. But I feel bad for it. That's the part I feel bad for Ironheart, because I know they wanted that red hair, like that distraction, to be like, it is Dormammu. But Sacha Baron Cohen was like suggested to be Mephisto like 2 years ago.
But it worked, because I saw some people on Twitter that were like real smug. Like they were like, you guys think it's Mephisto, but really it's Dormammu. Like people know from the comics like that it might be Dormammu. And then I was like, you guys are gonna be fools.
And then there's people that don't highly track it like we do. So they genuinely are surprised.
Yeah, so they were like, is he Borat? Who is he?
Why is Borat here?
Why is Borat in the MCU?
I think there's also just like a weird camp of people on Twitter who just like live their whole lives on Twitter and never tell you their real names, who were rooting against Mephisto for this, even though it made for a better show that it was Mephisto. They just like did not want New Rockstars to have a W here. But my thing is, this wasn't New Rockstars' win. This was all of our win. This having Mephisto in the universe is like so cool. Like we should want Mephisto to be in the universe.
Take the L at BonerBoy69420.
Okay, Gina, that's your account.
Damn it!
It's Gina's burner confirmed.
Keep making a joke like it's not you orchestrating.
Oh, I hit my track so
Boner
well.
Boy 420 69.
Structurally, these final 3 episodes, we learned some interesting things as the show kind of pivoted into the world of sorcery, as we had like a coven explored connections to Camartage and setting up Strange Academy. Riri uses this kind of magic to power a new suit after she is kind of revealed to be the traitor of this group, and then Zeke is broken out of prison, gets his own kind of like bionic upgrades, but has a backdoor admin control. by Parker Robbins. They fight at a Whataburger that has way too much AI in it.
Not Whataburger. White Castle.
White Castle, my bad.
How
I'm from the
dare you.
South.
How dare
I'm from the South. I've done so many road trips through Texas.
Everyone from New Jersey is furiously writing you an angry letter on a White
What are you
Castle
guys even-
wrapper
what are
right
you guys
now.
talking- White Castle's way better than Whataburger.
Oh, for sure.
Oh,
White Castle
yeah,
is
of
way
course.
better.
Of course.
At my wedding, we had a late night snack from White Castle. I should have known that.
Hell
I should have known that. But in my
yeah.
head, it's Whataburger just because I come from the South. And if you go through Texas, Whataburgers are everywhere. But anyway, so at White Castle, they had some weird AI arms that were building these burgers.
Yeah.
Really fun battle though. But then Riri gets a new suit that just looks awesome. And so now we aren't really sure what the source of this demonic whatever is, but it is Sacha Baron Cohen. He's with Parker Robbins in this flashback. He's eating some pizza. He's very casual, and he offers Parker his heart's desire, which in this case means Parker wants to be rich, stupid, filthy, greasy rich, richer than his dad. That he can turn the tables on his dad. Won't cost much. It won't cost much. Just his soul. Poor unfortunate souls. Yeah.
We didn't know which chorus part we were gonna both sing, but I like that we all paused it.
I mean, we just needed an in it from in it. Riri and her mom get some help analyzing the hood from their magic using friends, Madeline Stanton and her daughter Zelma. They do some crazy magic. Madeline spent some time studying at Camartage and they figure out that the hood is from another dimension. Riri builds herself a kick-ass new suit, imbues it with magic, which has the very sad side effect of erasing AI Natalie. Riri makes a temporary truce with Zeke as they're fighting in this pizza parlor, and then kicks Parker's ass. And then Riri meets Mephisto, and it is here when he confirms that his name is Mephisto. We learn quite a few interesting things about Mephisto. One, that he's made a deal with Ringo Starr and William Shakespeare.
Wait, we don't know which Beatle. We just all assumed it was Ringo.
He said Ringo.
He said Ringo.
That's
He did
right.
say Ringo.
Oh, that's right.
Ringo
That's
was in
right.
our heads.
That's
right?
right. Yeah. Before
I'm not
he
gonna
said
assume
it, we
it's
were like,
Paul.
it's Ringo, right?
14 kings, 3 popes. What a crazy thing to say, considering the most recent new pope is from Chicago.
Oh, dude, I'm not gonna make that correlation because I love my Chicago Pope. I'm not gonna bring him down. Oh, Block Pope, give me the gangster Pope. Damn, no, I'm not gonna add that. No, I can't.
I really love how this final episode structured it because you don't see Riri shake the hand
Or eat the pizza.
Yeah. But we cut to some time afterward where it seemed like, hey, maybe she walked away from the creeper, and then nope, she did make a deal with him to bring Natalie back to life. Not just AI Natalie, Natalie who didn't go through these recent experiences with Riri and has no memory of her death. And we end on this dark, foreboding note.
Yeah, especially
Technically,
when
we
we
still
see
don't
her when we see her face start to get
No, we don't know.
all black
Her-
and soul.
her arm
It can
gets,
still be a fantasy. It can still. I'm holding on to the fact that I want to.
Jess.
Because I looked at
You're
that
in
footage.
denial.
I am 100%. Oh, okay, easy 100%. But I'm holding on to the fact that we don't see whether she reaches for that cup of coffee, dashes it in his face, or takes the pizza and splashes it also. And I was like, I watched her movement of if it looked like it was going into a hand gesture, and it looked like it was going forward into grabbing something.
We got a couple quotes later from the actress herself that
No.
might clarify it for you.
I'm not believing.
I'm not gonna read it.
I'm not believing her, and I'm not gonna deal with it.
Well, what were both of your first impressions of this show overall? This ending, but just like the full 6 episodes.
I really loved them. I was having a great time. It's been a whirlwind breaking them down and staying up forever doing them. But it's been a very fun time. I think every character is really fun. I am really obsessed with Zelma Stanton. I think she's like one of the most integral characters that is gonna like actually ripple the MCU if they use her.
Zelma's like the type of character that, like, if I knew her in real life, anytime I hung out with her, I'd be like, I'm not cool enough to be hanging out with her.
She said it again. She's cool as hell. Nah, she was like I was anticipating her showing up anyways, but like after seeing it and recognizing it, I was like, damn, I really wish like she was in the position that America Chavez is in right now. I was like, she would have been really fun to see actually like bodying Carmitage and the mystic arts and maybe even helping Clea.
Yeah.
So
Also,
she is like
does
Clea.
it so easily too.
Yeah.
Anytime sometimes when we see magic in the MCU, it's like clearly takes a lot out of someone.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, yeah, okay, here we go. Bloop, boop, boop, boop,
Yeah, I'm so obsessed with that character. I'm obsessed with it. I also love any kind of magic in the MCU. So like anytime you want to bring it back to witchcraft and Agatha and Wanda, I'm already in.
Also self-taught. I love that she's like, hey, send me to Kamar-Taj. And her mom's like, nah, this is better. You get a little bit of Kamar-Taj, you get a little bit of like real world.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It was great. I really loved it.
I loved it. I'm glad it's getting the love on Twitter that it is. And you know, it's always dicey at first with these non-white dude led shows. Like people were, you know, review bombing it and stuff, and I'm glad that some people were like, wait, it's good.
Yeah, wait, let me go in and see for myself. Oh wait, this is funny and it has a really good soundtrack.
Yeah, and the cast is great. So maybe we should review bomb it. Yeah, I'm glad it's getting the appreciation that I felt like it deserves.
And God, Anthony Ramos is such a good actor.
Yeah, he's very good.
It's disgusting. Him and Manny Montana, when they act together, Cousin John, I'm like, yeah, I could watch him perform the entire time.
Also, like, truly, this Sacha Baron Cohen performance kind of reminded me of the first time we saw Jonathan Majors in the MCU.
Oh yeah.
When people were like, "Ooh, he's like doing this. It's a little weird. Is it too weird?" Like here, like what I was just like, "Oh, he's eating. Like he's having fun with this. He's not, you know, like begrudgingly in an MCU project. That dude is having fun. Like pin some of the future on him."
Yeah, I agree. It's like I'm trying to temper my excitement for Mephisto being confirmed with just like how much I appreciated this whole series and these final 3 episodes. Yes, I think I like the first 3 episodes a bit more. I mean, obviously I'm super excited.
Which ones?
The first 3 episodes of this season. But I only just because I think some of the final battles that happened with like Zeke just didn't land as hard, but I can't say it wasn't set up. Like they did a good job writing everything. Like I can't really pinpoint exactly why. Maybe it's just like this final episode was just a bit shorter, and maybe I could have used the 7th episode, you know, just to kind of explore something.
It did feel a little rushed, but I did love when she was like, "I'm gonna kick you in the nuts."
Yeah, because
like,
the one
yeah, okay.
I also I do think I really like, because I was also kind of like, with the Zeke scene, it was so quick, and I was just like, yeah, I wish I got more with Zeke, but then I also was like, I feel like the writers were like, I don't want this to take away from the arc that is Ironheart and Parker Robbins, because we're already having Mephisto. We don't want to make this like an Obadiah Stane show.
Yeah.
And then also, I do really love the approach of like, I'm angry. I'm upset, and I have all this tech within me, and I know this anger is not going to go anywhere, so I'm going to come back. Like, I don't know. I just really like the idea of a villain being like, no, I'm going to become one.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing I can do now.
All right. I mean, I like all the side characters on this show were great. That was almost why it felt so rushed, because like in the end I was like, wait, what's going on with Clown? Like where'd they go? Where'd they go when they scattered? I think you could have squeezed like 2 more episodes out of it and spent some more time, because again, like Zelma's so fun and like all of the side characters are great. I would have spent more time with like Riri's mom's like witchy auntie friends too.
Yeah,
like
true.
I just wanted a little more of everybody.
I feel
But that's
like-
a good thing. Like if the biggest complaint I have about a show is like I want more of these fascinating characters, like I think that's a good show.
I wanted more of Riri's mom, because I felt like, she is a young woman, so it makes sense. She's like yelling at her mom all the time, and that's it. But I'm also like, to an extent, the mom has done nothing wrong, and she's so sad, and she just wants to connect with her daughter.
Oh, that's
and
such a teenager thing, though. That's
But
like,
she's also
stop
not
trying
a
to love
teenager.
me, Mom.
She's like almost 20.
I know,
but like,
she's still in that mindset.
But I was like, this poor mom. Like every time we see this mom, it's her trying to rekindle something that's not there. And I was like, I would love to see her not have to like be sad.
Also, her mom's been through some crap too.
Her mom lost her husband.
She's like, hey, I'm lonely and I have no one. And her daughter's like, yeah, get out of my room, Mom.
Get out of here. Why didn't you clean up the garage? Spider webs everywhere. Your husband died. I was so confused. I was like, Riri, settle down. I was like, she also lost someone. I mean, yeah, you lost a dad and a best friend. She lost her husband. She would love for her husband to come back.
Yeah, you just got kicked out of school, Riri. You don't think your mom, and your mom's like, it's okay, I still love you. And she's like, shut up, Mom.
God, why do you say that all the time?
I mean, I loved everything with the mom. The mom asking, "Can you do this for Gary?" And I just think like this show really broke some new ground. And I know this happened in the Ironheart comics. Like Natalie is an AI friend and like a lab assistant in the comics as well. But just like how relevant they could make this, and also like I don't know. This might have been my interpretation of it based off my own attitudes around AI. But didn't it feel like the rules Mephisto established, or at least what he said, are the rules of like wanting to give people the tools, like identifying people who have natural talent, but people who are like unseen, unheard, and wanting to give them the tools that they need, some advanced technological tools that are almost kind of this godly, magical tools. And I was like, shit. Is the implication here, and I'm probably reading between the lines, is the implication here that AI in the MCU was a tool invented by Mephisto? It's a Promethean tool that Mephisto's like, hey, you choose to do with it whatever you want, but certain people, like, I'm going to give you this tool of AI to give you something that's a little too unnatural, a little too beyond human, that's going to, like, give you something that isn't necessarily going to heal you. It's going to give you what you want, but not what you need. And it's going to give you a shortcut to take a less bumpy path to what you think you need. And ultimately, it's not going to fill all those voids.
Or like ultimately he's like leaving the choice up to them. Like even when he gives Parker the hood, like Parker could have used that hood for altruistic means, but instead he was like, I'm gonna rob my dad.
Well, and for a second, didn't it seem like he almost was? There was a kind of a Robin Hood motivation where it's like these tech companies are doing harmful things to the city of Chicago.
Right.
But every time we find out he just wanted a majority stake. And
to screw over his dad. Yeah, I mean, he could have actually been like taking over these companies and been like, hey, you're displacing the local people and that's crappy. So I'm going to do this and now I'm your majority shareholder. But yeah, ultimately his motivations were less than ideal.
Less than ideal. I like the idea that Mephisto being like, I created AI, and that causes like so much ruckus. But also like I guess in a weird way, he is in the embodiment of AI, right? Like, because it depends on how we see hell in the MCU, but it's like, you are Mephisto. Not a lot of people know who you are, and sometimes you replicate yourself to look like things that humans would recognize from actual like Satan itself. Like you are copying yourself a story that we already created. This is now the snake eating itself, because I'm like, didn't you just copy what we do all the time anyways? So aren't you AI? You like fed off of our creation to recreate yourself? I don't know, but I do like the idea that like Mephisto was like, just like AI, I'm kind of helping you. But I'm ultimately destroying.
Or it's like, you think I'm helping you, and ultimately it's going to lead to your downfall, which is what AI is really going to do to all of us, guys.
What we need to do, this is not my AI rant, but what we need to do is, when you make a deal with the devil, when you make a deal with Mephisto,
lay down the rules, Jess.
Or don't lay down the rules. Don't say a thing, because he was like dirty, greasy, rich, right? That's what you wanted to be, and that's exactly what he became. Disgusting, greasy as a human being, and filthy rich. And I'm like, watching him talk with Riri, I was like, Riri's like not saying any extra terms other than just me. Just me, and I was like, ooh, when you make a deal with the devil, don't say anything. Just listen to him, and if you don't agree with what he's saying, be like, not that. Push it to the side. Give me something else.
We here at the Break Room love to talk about food. We get in fights about Bagel Mondays, okay? We're always talking restaurants or what we brought for lunch or what we're excited about. We love food. Everybody does. But when you don't have the time to cook, it can be hard to make sure that the food you eat is food you love. Unless you use Factor, okay? Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating deliciously and eating well easy. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes. Heat and eat, baby. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Factor takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success. You get to skip all the shopping and the chopping and the scraping and the scooping, and instead get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. Factor meals are always fresh, never frozen, and there are over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and more. I have recently had the veggie tomato risotto. Ooh-wee. It was very good, perfect level of that tomatoey bite, and the risotto was very creamy. It was delicious, and it was ready in 2 minutes. Get started at factormeals.com/breakroom50off and use code breakroom50off, that's the numbers 50, to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That's code breakroom50off at factormeals.com/breakroom50off for 50% off plus free shipping. factormeals.com/breakroom50off.
I do think that, like, I just love the established rule that Mephisto doesn't give people the talent. And while he can warp reality by silencing a specific family, and can we just talk about that for a second? Why that family, Mephisto?
No,
The
but
two moms?
Didn't he silence the
It was
whole...
the black family in the book.
Yeah. But
There was
there
some
are
coded racism
implications
there.
there. But then if you watch it again, it was the entire, like, he also turns off the music. He also...
Okay.
But they did focus on that family.
Giving
and
them
it's
an
so
out,
creepy
Gina.
that
I
they're
think
just
you
like...
said racist shit.
It's so creepy that they're just sitting there staring at each other.
That'd be funny, the racist implication. He's like, do you want me to do it to the entire city of Chicago only? Chicago? No other points?
He just gets out a map of Chicago.
He's
It's like
like-
everything's
he's-
south of this.
he starts
He
redlining.
starts redistricting.
Yeah, he's like,
all right,
no, we're
let's
gonna
see.
do right here. Leave, go around this part over here. We're gonna go over here.
Oh man, I think like because you can extrapolate this to crazy places. He doesn't like change people's hearts. He just gives people the tools to be whatever is already in their hearts. The talent that they already have. He doesn't give them the talent. He just gives them resources.
That's why he's going after talented people.
Yeah. Desperate people, aka desperate,
Desperitos.
and that is desperitos, and but that's like the whole point. That's the trope that I love so much of like just signing a deal with the devil is like, no, he just releases your inhibitions. This is like doing this was so nice after doing Sinners because it made a different lens on what evil actually is. It's like, oh yeah, we all know the man at the end of the crossroads, but maybe he's not actually bad. Maybe he's there to just give you the tools to be good. It depends on what you do to get it, and that's kind of what Mephisto is. You can see him as a horrible person because he is sucking the souls out of people until they die. But he's also like, you made a deal with me. I'm giving you what you want. I keep making, in my breakdown, I make like comparisons to like monkey paw kind of situation because he is twisting your words, but he is ultimately just being like, this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Your greed sickens me, but your greed is what made you do all this.
And speaking of releasing inhibitions,
Ooh.
someone who can feel the rain on her skin is Natalie now. No one else can feel it for her. Only she can let
Only
it in.
she can.
No one else. I'm sorry. Don't let me ever do this again. I want to ask you guys, did everyone think Riri was going to make this deal? Because there was a deadline interview from Dominique Thorne, and I believe we have the quote here. Dominique Thorne says, for as smart as she is and as much an intellect and know how she might contain, the intuitive, emotional knowing is not as advanced as her technological know-how.
Yeah, I did not think she was gonna take it. But then I think that quote from Dominique Thorne is like interesting because it's like, oh yeah, she isn't, a 35-year-old adult that can think through her decisions, even though she's like super smart. Yeah, so I was watching it thinking like, no way she's gonna do this. She just watched a dude basically turn into a demon in front of her. She's gonna say no. And I thought they did a good job of like teasing it out. Like she doesn't eat the pizza like Parker did. She doesn't shake the hand like Parker did. And then at the end, when you see her furiously working, I was misled into thinking she did not take the deal. She's using her science know-how to bring back AI Natalie. So that was a fun reveal for me when I was like, oh, damn.
I still think it's a fantasy. I still think it's a fantasy.
Jessica still doesn't think she
and
took
the thing is,
the deal.
100% denial. I don't care. I don't care. I want her on the Marvel Champions so bad, and the idea that she has just disappeared into a realm probably that's hell, I don't want to believe in. Maybe, and the idea that the only person that can probably save her is Doctor Strange, Clea, or Zelma, and they're not gonna do it. I don't want to believe them. But I didn't think she was. I was also watching this through like a black person lens where I was like, no, she's not gonna do it. Why would she ever do that? None of us would sign the deal with the devil. But I do think, and I mentioned this a lot in the breakdown about how, or I mentioned like once, that they did work with the psychiatrist and therapist that works on a podcast called Therapy for Black Girls. And she helped with decoding and just unfolding what mourning is for a black girl like Riri, especially someone that's just so determined in this world to find a solution to every problem that she will not even think about her mourning. She channeled her mourning into finding a way to defeat what caused the mourning.
Yeah.
And she spent years doing that. So she'll never actually come to terms with like, oh yeah, of course she's gonna sign a deal with the devil because that's another solution for her planning. She's so destructive.
She's only thinking like one step ahead.
She is, and it's
like, what's my immediate problem?
When you watch the breakdown, I might go off a little. I call Riri a stupid girl. Because I'm so disappointed. But Dominic Thorne in these interviews has been really good about being like, yeah, Riri, you guys think Riri is like really great, really smart, all these things, and she is, but she doesn't know the extent to the cause of like her consequences for everybody around her. And so this is so damning to be like, it only affects me, right? And it's like, you're not thinking about all the people around you that are gonna be looking for you if you're gone. If she's in a different fucking realm, her mom, Landon, Xavier, everyone's gonna be like, where is Riri Williams? She disappeared.
Also, like, her type of smarts is not the same as, like, emotional intelligence.
No, yeah.
Like, because every step of the way, she's, like, pushing her mom away. She's, like, pushing her friends away. She's not telling Zeke the truth about Natalie. So it's not, like, she is book smart. And we saw this with Tony Stark, right? Like, he was one of the smartest people on the planet, but he was still making all sorts of like terrible personal decisions because he's not as emotionally intelligent as he is like logically intelligent. Like those are two totally separate things.
Are they like, they're like Vision?
Yeah.
I mean, they are like super, like, even though they're human, they are computers, Tony and Dominic Thorne.
Yeah, I think Vision's the most emotionally intelligent.
Yeah, that is true. He's like,
oh, here are human emotion feelings. I will explain them
He's
to
like,
you.
I'm tapping in.
Yeah.
Riri and Tony are like, my parents died. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start civil war right now.
I want to quickly address some of these great comments we've been seeing in the chat. Marvin Martinez, Michael Rivera, Trenton Williams, and the Lord Helix, and Shekwe 16, Nugget Head 123, VP Fiction. Thank you all for your great conversation here, and then some super chats that we've been getting. Tim said, from Borat to Bruno to Mephisto. Love you, Eric. Thank you, Tim. Gravy Train GT says, say it, boss. Scream Mephisto confirmed. Mephisto confirmed! Spidey Sensei 72. Thank you for your super chat. What are the odds that Gina's zombie Fraggle script gets greenlit this season?
I think this is my Mephisto. I'm going to be chasing it for years.
Oh, God. It'll get there.
Thank you for your super chat, Chris Hockley. Chris says, what do you think are the chances that Natalie AI may have been a Mephisto all along?
I've seen that theory out there.
I like the idea. Well, it's sound because once we started using magic on the suit, it disappeared. I don't think it was the fact that like I don't think it's a coincidence that it's like the only thing that could cancel out maybe Natalie is more magic, and it'd be like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, also, if Riri still had that AI Natalie at the end, she probably would not have made that deal, right? Because like it's like she lost Natalie twice. Like she's crushed when that AI Natalie disappears. And I feel like if she had gone into it with like a little voice, like her conscience essentially in her head, that would be like, hey, what the hell are you doing? Don't make a deal with him. And she'd be like, yeah, I've got AI Natalie. It's not quite as good, but...
Well, and Mephisto, like, yanked her out of that suit a little bit, too, right? When he was talking to her, he's like...
Oh, yeah, he's like, get out
of there.
Get out of that Transformer
He
suit.
wanted her to be vulnerable to have her shell away from her. Yeah.
Would it be... This is damning. I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's going to happen. Would it be messed up if this is real, right? Natalie at the end, and he makes her relive the drive-by again? Because what if she dies again? She just died. He didn't. He's like, no, I brought her back for you. I didn't protect her. Like, that's not my.
I would hate that. That's too much
But
trauma.
that's the monkey paw of the situation of like, if it does happen again, if this is the night that Natalie was supposed to die, and she's just like, oh, and then it happens. Well, that's like, bring her back, and it's like, I didn't say I could do that.
That's Doctor Strange, right? Watching.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, it could
Christine
be not a Nexus point.
Like
what
just
is it?
keep getting killed in a
Nexus
million
point,
different ways.
That it could be her.
I hope. Don't do that to Riri. She's been through enough.
It could be her point because it is in the comic. Like that's what makes Riri change is her dad and Natalie dying. That could be her point that her absolute point or Nexus point that has to happen to her in every reality.
I wonder if she like
never
tried
has
to
to
get her
revisit
stepdad back. I wonder if she was like 2 for 1. Like,
I remember. Also crazy that you're like, I will give up everything to bring my best friend back, and I'm like, your dad and your mom.
Yeah, ask for more.
And your mom.
Yeah.
Look, ask for more.
Negotiate, girl.
Don't
Start
settle
straight
with
high.
Natalie.
She does not know how to haggle. I'll tell you that much.
Rochelle Galley, thank you for your super chat. Says, my first super chat had to be today. Y'all are the best channel ever. Here since WandaVision. Love y'all's positivity and professionalism. Mephisto train whistle. Woo, woo. Yay for Eric. And Gina was right. Thank you, Rochelle. That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
Silhouetted Animator, you hit us up with a few more. Says the demon form Parker Robbins' hood looked like Morbius. Oh, we're talking about when he went, Yeah, I saw that.
It was
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
a
it
lot of
was
Morbius.
Also says Mephisto loves Italian, Dormammu loves spicy Chinese food. Okay.
Go on.
All right, both good.
ZZ, EE, Sonia. Did you notice the Get Out reference with Mephisto stirring the coffee cup? We're talking to Riri. Yeah.
Crazy. So many references to different things that I'm like, she's going into the sunken place. There's a lot of Princess and the Frog reference, and we have the Voodoo Man and literally the princess. Yeah. I'm like, there's so many weird tales that are woven in this, but to have to compare him to the Get Out sunken place is insane. To be like, well, you remember this movie? It doesn't exist in MCU yet.
No one will ever see a spoon like stirring a cup of and we're all gonna be at like someone's house, and they're gonna be like, hello, and we're gonna be like, no.
It was also the tapping that like I was like, oh, nail in the coffin. He's trying. You're going to the second place.
Yes.
Lives Beneath the Bay, something. Now that they have introduced Mephisto and Fantastic Four at the same time, they follow the comics and have Franklin Richards eventually kill Mephisto. Interesting theory. I mean, I think we're a ways off from Mephisto being killed.
Not until they bring in Ghost Rider and stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah.
We got some work to do first. NV Comics or Nevada Comics, to me, the central theme is what are you willing to do to succeed? And the ending is really giving the road to hell is paved with intentions.
Yeah, good intentions. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, because Riri's probably making what she thinks is like a selfless choice, but it's from her own desire to see her friend again, not like, oh, how is this going to affect everyone? How is this going to affect her brother? How is this going to affect my mom that I brought back her instead of my stepdad? Like, yeah, it truly is. She went into it thinking like, this couldn't possibly backfire. This is Homer Simpson ordering a turkey club.
Yeah.
Turkey's a little dry. Turkey's a little dry.
Shuri's gonna be so disappointed. Shuri's gonna be so disappointed. She was already disappointed when she was like stealing people or cheating homework.
Yeah.
She was like, why are you doing this? You're like one of the smartest people on the planet. And she's like, well, I just gotta get by. And now I'm like, you didn't really need to get by here. You just kind of got selfish.
Yeah. You wanted what you wanted.
Mm-hmm. Ezekiel Toll Free, thank you for your super chat. Says in the series she was never dubbed Ironheart. You guys think this was on purpose?
They never give them their full name until
they often don't.
2 movies in.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna be like, your heart is iron.
Well, her dad said something about like, oh, you got an iron head.
Yeah, it was the iron head.
And then like someone said something about like, oh, you like your exterior is all hard. So they were dancing around it, but you're right that no one was like, I dub thee Ironheart.
It was, we went through and we're like trying to remember every single time they even referenced Obadiah Stane as Ironmonger, and it took a really long time.
Yeah. All right, let's get back to our conversation here. Mephisto. Does he have plans for Riri beyond just getting her soul? Because this other quote from Dominique Thorne from that Deadline article says, quote, I think Mephisto is probably in for a bit more of a headache than he bargained for with Miss Riri Williams. I think regardless of what Mephisto thinks is going to happen, Riri most certainly has other plans in mind. So do you guys think that, like, she inserted some fine print that Mephisto didn't see? Is this, I mean, you believe that this is a vision. Is she pulling some kind of technological fast one on Mephisto?
That'd be crazy if she's using his magic to do a hologram or something.
Yeah.
She's doing it all over again. That'd be crazy. I don't. It kind of feels like, if this is the case, which it might not be, they're setting it up to be. She's one of his agents. She works for him.
Can we have a show called Agents of Mephisto?
Yes.
We can have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 8, reboot it. You can have Agents of the TVA, and then Agents of Mephisto.
Oh my
because
God.
That's the only time we ever, like, said his name in the MCU was through Jennifer Kill, right? We always, like, alluded to him. Yeah, before this. We always alluded, but she was the one that said, Agent of Mephisto. And I'm like, damn, did Riri just sign herself to be the Silver Surfer of Galactus?
Yeah.
Is she going to be on Earth now being like, well, now I got to go to Costco to go get this one guy, and then I got to go over here to get the other guy?
I mean, doesn't this quote kind of imply to you that like Riri thinks she can ultimately outsmart the devil?
Yeah, of course it does.
Like,
that's exactly how Riri thinks.
Yeah, like, and I do think if she's saying like, oh, she's gonna be more of a headache, you know, I think maybe they'll go back and forth, and she'll use her inventions to maybe like trap him or something, sort of like Sandman style, trap him and just be like, let me out of this bargain. Or like,
it's so insane to be like, they're just gonna be homies.
Yeah,
They're gonna be like, she's gonna always be trying to get out, and he's like, come on, girl. Like, cause Parker was like, give me more, give me more, give me more. And maybe with Riri, she's like, okay, look here. I'm gonna do it this way. You can go do it this way. And he's like, fine, I'll deal with it. Okay, now I gotta go deal with Benson Boone.
But maybe he does like wander in his like little army because she's so smart. Like maybe he knows he's ultimately gonna face like a grand battle, and he's like, all right, I got to get some smart ass soldiers on my side.
Is there like any kind of like religious part where it's like, oh, the juicier the soul if they're like more not willing to want to be a part of my team?
Oh, like if you can corrupt a good soul, it's more satisfying than just getting a bad soul.
It's like 100-point soul. The
Yeah,
most dangerous game is the most delicious.
He's like, ooh, I did make a lot of comparisons to like a Coraline with the Beldam, and I'm like, you gotta beat them at their own game.
Yeah,
so you gotta make it like just like the Doctor Strange with Dormammu. It's like, yeah, we gotta go there, and I have to keep harassing him until I can make a bargain with him until he gets tired. So I'm like, you gotta kind of just tire him out, and maybe you can make a deal with him that gives you your soul. But I just don't know what that ultimatum would be. That's that juicy for Mephisto to take.
Or she'll like challenge him to like a game of chess, and then she'll be like, "Let me out of my deal."
Okay, let me do it again.
Yeah.
Oh, let me out. Yeah, she does chess. She's like, whoever can make the biggest. Oh, it's the devil went down to Georgia, and they're just gonna straight up do the fiddle off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Whoever can make the coolest tech wins my soul.
He's just gonna cheat. He's the devil.
Yeah, this is why the MCU is a better place with Mephisto in it, because we're just gonna be wondering, wait. No, Wilson Fisk just kind of looked out the window for a little too long there. Val was looking in the mirror when we walked into this room. Who is she talking to? Like everybody who seems to have like unlikely success, who seems to have some mysterious backstory, who seems to be talented, but like, how the hell did you get as powerful as you are? Sharon Carter looking at you. Like, we're all gonna be wondering if Mephisto was involved.
It's not that hard to become the power broker.
Who else made deals with Mephisto?
It has to be, and that's the thing. Like, it has to be. I as soon as he was like listing off hacks, I was like, okay, who in the MCU is like a hack that had to cheat and get their way to the top? And I was like,
Justin
Kingpin.
Hammer.
Yeah, I was like, Justin
if
Hammer.
it is like, it's always like the lamest version of whatever. Like he's like, yeah, all right, I'll make you an inventor. You're just gonna be like a crappy one.
You're like, damn, all I can do is steal other people's ideas.
Do you guys think it's possible? Look, we know Mephisto was not in WandaVision. Matt Shackman and Jack Schaefer said, who? Like, he was not part of their plans. But is it possible that, like, the era of WandaVision and then Billy Kaplan's origin story that was connected to the events in Westview, are they going to retroactively go back and say that, hey, maybe there was some kind of Mephisto magic in what happened there with that soul transference from Billy in Westview to the corpse of Billy Kaplan?
I could see that. I could also, I could see it being, because the way that Mephisto just throws around absolute knowledge, he at one point will be like, oh, that one woman that wanted a child. Like, I had to help her. I could see them easily just throwing that line in there. And it wouldn't disrupt too much. I do think there are things that Mephisto did that we are under the guise someone else did for sure, and he has not just told us. I alluded that maybe he is actually behind the curse that hit Jack Russell and turning him into a werewolf all the time. Because the way he transforms kind of looks like how
you're right.
whatchamacallit transformed.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
I'm like, I know they're gonna, and that's the fun about Mephisto is that you can just insert him literally anywhere and just be like, he's like, yeah, I did that.
I mean, I can't wait to see him with Aubrey Plaza. Like, I think Sacha Baron Cohen and Aubrey Plaza acting opposite one another. Oh yeah, give me that. Yum, 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 yum.
I'm like, I need them both to like clear up their schedules for it.
Because
I'm like, they're not gonna do it for a minute, but I'm like, Rio needs to talk to Mephisto.
I want like a full like 10-minute scene that's just the two of them like pacing and chewing scenery and talking to each other.
There's gonna be a joke where they were like roommates 4,000 years ago.
Yeah. And she's gonna be like, you still owe me for the utility bill.
You still owe me for the Spectrum bill.
And I know that like Sacha Baron Cohen and Aubrey Plaza are not that cheap. Like, you gotta pay a lot to get them to show up to a set.
Worth every penny.
Worth every penny. But like, can we just have some supernatural show, whether it's a Ghost Rider series or a Midnight Sun series, an Agatha season 2, something, a Strange Academy even, that can just like have all the occult, the supernatural elements there, and we can have this scene happen there.
I do think like the MCU has been maybe a little bit, with the exception of Werewolf by Night, a little bit hesitant to get into just 100% supernatural. Like, because even though, you know, like in WandaVision, you could argue like, oh, from the very start to the very end, it was supernatural, but like they didn't like blast you with it from the first episode. Same with like Agatha all along. You were like, ooh, what's going on? I would love to see a show where they're like, you know what? This isn't going to be for everyone, but this is 100% magic right out of the gate.
I think it's, there was an interview that Kevin Feige did a while back for Werewolf by Night where he was like, we want to see the success of this because it's opening the door to a lot of things that we're trying to get into further down the line. And I think that was the supernatural. But because they took so long with Ironheart, I think they're like, we've been moving things around. And I don't know when we're going to do a supernatural just solo project that's gonna home everything. I would love a Strange Academy, but in the comics, Strange Academy is just so campy, where Agatha is a teacher. She's not gonna do that in the MCU.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about Strange Academy. It's so much we call it the Marvel Hogwarts, but it works like the Xavier School. So it's like we already have so many versions of like these teenage schools. I would love it, but Strange Academy requires so many people to just be focused in this one room that I don't know if Marvel would do it.
Yeah.
I would love a Strange Academy though. Oh my god. Yeah, because I love Hogwarts. So give the Marvel Hogwarts. But you would also need to require so many people. You would need Nico in it, Nico Minoru. You would need so many spiritual people that aren't there yet.
Yeah, we saw Nico only in
Spider-Man,
In Spider-Man. I mean, unless they decide to canonize Runaways.
Yeah, and that's
do it.
They need
Agents of Shield, Runaway.
Listen,
all of it.
They're all great shows. There's no reason like not. The only stinker in the bunch is Inhumans, and I'll die on that hill. So.
The hard part is the fact that like there's too many things established in those shows.
Yeah, that's
that once
true.
you throw it into our shows, we're like, now we go.
That showrunner's gonna lose their mind. They're gonna be like, how many seasons of TV do I need to watch?
And I have to write down every line of dialogue and remember it.
Well, Jomi tweeted me yesterday. I can't remember what he said, but I just responded. I'm like, you know, it's next, and it was a gif of Coulson saying, "Tahiti, it's a magical place." Like, let's get Agents of Shield back, baby.
Yeah. That's so funny.
I mean, now it's time for everybody else who's been holding that flame in their hearts. Like, I want all of your dreams to come true as well. Agents of Shield.
What is your heart desire? Oh, I'm gonna make a deal with the devil to bring Agents of Shield into.
That's crazy because it's not even gonna help you.
Yes, it will.
No. Oh well, if you're gonna make a deal with the devil, I'm saying Agents of Shield. Yeah, 100% is a genie wish. That's a great genie wish. It's not worthy of selling your soul for.
It's already so close. I think it's easier to fold in Agents of Shield than it was all of the Netflix shows, which they've technically done now.
But everyone's seen the Netflix show.
A lot of people have seen Agents of Shield.
No, a lot of people have, but not as many people that have seen the Netflix Daredevil.
Actually, I don't know. I would argue that, like, at the time, network TV a show on network TV that ran for as many seasons as Agents of Shield was more widely watched than the OG Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah,
but then we're requiring like that. Also, that point comes into play with like Gotham, that also had 9 seasons.
That's true.
That was still not like that big of a watch show, but it still got 9 seasons.
I would say like between the season 6 and season 7 of Agents of Shield versus like season 2 of Punisher. It's kind of hard to tell how many people watched each of those.
And you chose
shows.
the Punisher, though. You didn't choose first season of Daredevil or first season of Jessica Jones.
It's a shame, too, because those late seasons of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are the best seasons.
Season 7 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is great.
It's amazing.
Yeah. The thing is, the reason I say Punisher is because we did have Frank Castle in the most recent season of Daredevil Born Again. I didn't throw in, like, Iron Fist.
Why not?
So far, Danny Rand has not been. But Jessica Jones will be in season 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, now we should look at season 3 of Jessica Jones. How many people are really watching that? Netflix will never tell us.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm just saying. Like, I think it's easy just to say, yeah, Coulson was an LMD, and there was some quantum realm time travel mechanics that kind of make it make sense now. Like, there's no reason why you can't do it. It's
just more work that they don't want to do, which I wouldn't want to do either. And this is me speaking on the terms where I'm like, if I'm focusing on X-Men now and the Mutant Saga, I'm not going back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But maybe if I hired a different team to literally oversee that, that's a different story.
Yeah, they just need a showrunner who's an
that
Agents
just
of
does
S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
expert.
Yeah, get one of the writers on there. I mean, maybe Joss Whedon. But what you could do is, like, I just think it's easier to keep Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. within the canon conversation than it is Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is crazy.
That's true. Yeah, like, ultimately, when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends, they could argue like, well, like some of this happened on space, like in space, because there is one season that's set in space. They could explain, and then it's like, oh, one happened like in an AI universe. So like a lot of the stuff doesn't really affect the larger universe. It's just the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. being like, well, I guess we're in a simulation now, so.
Oh my God, there's so many great things. I can't wait. Let's quickly talk about the post-credit scene and the strange academy of it all. Like, what was your guys' read of Parker Robbins going back into the Stanton store, and then Zelma seeming to be receptive of him? Her references of Camartage, do you think we're gonna get, is Strange Academy back on the menu or not?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's interesting that this was the post-credit scene because it does imply like, hey, get ready to watch Strange Academy. So it is interesting that they were like, yeah, let's now you're going to be expecting it because this is the post-credit scene. But I don't know, like they haven't made any announcements yet. Yeah, I just found this interesting. I would have honestly like much rather seen like a random funny scene where it's like Mephisto making a deal with like someone else, like that.
He's talking to like Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Not that Michael Cera's bad. I just chose a random
just
person.
Something so random that he's just like, yeah, you're gonna make the next 10 movies are all gonna crack through the.
He's just like an overcoked producer from the 80s, being like, okay, let's see what sticks to the wall. It sticks to the wall. Like coming up with ideas.
It's a fun rule that got established. Any nepo baby technically could not be an agent of Mephisto because they were born into privilege.
Oh yeah.
And they didn't need deals with Mephisto. They had their parents' privilege and their wealth in order
But technically,
to succeed.
Parker's a nepo baby. I guess his dad sort of disowned him though.
So if they were technically Emilio Estevez could have been, but not Charlie Sheen because Emilio Estevez took the original surname and not the Sheen family name. So if they like took a different route and were like disowned from the will or something like that, then maybe they needed it.
I would love if Emilio Estevez made a deal with Mephisto to be in the Brat Pack.
Oh God, no.
He still benefited in the same way that Nicolas Cage still benefited. He said, I didn't want to be known as a Coppola, but everyone knew who your godfather was.
This is my question. Like, can technically, if someone was like, hey, I want to get pregnant by this rich person, could Mephisto be like, yeah, you're going to? And that product is the Nicolas Cage, or that product is the...
So is Mephisto's technology like subverting a diaphragm or a condom to get that sperm where it needs to go?
No. He's just like, hey, it'll be fine.
I mean, we have a
a
video coming out Friday or Saturday where I speculate that Mephisto might have altered the destiny of the Windsor family dynasty to introduce Edward VIII to Wallace Simpson at a party in the 30s to get him to fall in love with a divorcee, an American divorcee, to create the scandal so that, and that might have been little Elizabeth II saying, I want to be queen one day. I want to be queen.
Wait, does he have an age limit on his soul deals? I feel like if you're younger than 16, you should not be able to make soul deals.
I mean, if you're under duress, you shouldn't be legally bound to
But
it.
also, back in the day, 16 was like 27, right?
That's
Because
true.
they die
That's true.
at 20.
He's got like every couple years he like examines it again. He's like, well, now
The age of consent for him taking
yeah.
souls just keeps rising. He's like, it's not like it
I
used
feel
to
like
be.
he has some rules. I feel like he wouldn't make a deal with a 5-year-old.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe he would. I don't trust Mephisto. He's a crazy person.
I want a lollipop. Done.
He said, ooh, I got him. Sucker!
So do we think Strange Academy is coming, yay or nay?
I don't think so, but I do think it'll be under the guise of like Doctor Strange working, or I'm trying to think. It might be like a Wong story because in the comics, Doctor Strange doesn't show up until like a middle part of the. They're like, where is Doctor Strange? And then he just randomly shows up and he's like, help me. So it could. Was that not Beetlejuice? It was The Mask.
Somebody
stop me.
So
I think he comes out and just does that. So it could be just like a situation where it's like Wong training like interns or assistants, and that could be like America Chavez, the Ned, Zelma Stanton, and then we just called that Strange Academy. Yeah. Because I don't think we're gonna do a full school, because I do think they're getting ready for the Xavier school.
I was gonna say, like, I don't think it'll be a full series. I could see it being a special presentation.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I could also see it just being like sort of referenced throughout. Like, like, you know, like people could people could be like, oh, I'm talking about that other school or this or that. But yeah, I do think it steps on X-Men's toes a little bit to be like, hey, here's a school of mutants, here's a school of magic
people.
kids.
And then like magic's going to both of them. Magic there's
yeah.
probably a bunch of mutants that can be like, I go to both of these.
But I don't think they're gonna drop it entirely. I think it will either be referenced or it'll be a special presentation. Because it would be fun to see a bunch of kids.
It's gonna be like one of those lines where it's like where they're like pitching ideas of what to call their class, and it's like, ooh, Strange Academy. And he's like, nah, I hate it. Nah, I hate it. Next.
Or else like this will be the last time we see or hear of any of this, and the next thing we see, someone will be like, Mephisto returned to his home planet, and so did Strange Academy.
I don't. And that's the hard part. Is like they always kill off villains, and I don't think they're killing off Mephisto, and I love that they're not killing off the Hood. But it's like, and that's why I think they really want to set up Zelma in the Hood to be like staying in Chicago. Zelma in the Hood. they want to. I do think they are going to stay in Chicago for the most part and work off each other because we don't have anything in Chicago in the MCU other than what we saw from Victor Timely. So it's like when it comes to actual real world things in the MCU, Chicago's bland, and it's crazy because it's one of our major cities.
Right.
So it's like this will just be what's happening in Chicago. Keep in mind though, very fun fact because I was just like thinking about it when I was driving over here. During this time, Wong is suing Donnie Blaze for using the sling ring portal in She-Hulk. And I think it's really funny because Zelma's just going crazy doing magic that's like the Mystic Arts. Wong is too busy focusing on Donnie Blaze to even notice what this girl is doing. And we don't know what Strange is. So it's like, they literally, I think it's so, I don't know if they even knew that was set up, but I was like, time-wise, Wong is too busy to even know Zelma Stanton is just literally opening books and portals all over the place.
I would love it if like we get someone, you know, like going to her for magical help at some point. Again, like, you know, someone like that when we least expect it. Yeah, like that's not the Hood. Like, and the implication is like, oh, she's been sort of like maybe teaching magic to other people in the universe. And they're like, yeah, I know a girl who can help us out with this magic problem.
That would be so funny because then Wong would call up her mom and be like, hey, I remember you being a student. Your daughter's fucking Get her to stop.
He has to come in like the bad dad and be like, what did I tell you, young lady?
What is going on here? Also, where'd you get this magic? Baby witches on TikTok? What does that even mean?
Let's end this finale after show with a little segment that we did last week. We want you to identify which character was iconic and which character was a basic glitch.
That's so funny.
Iconic. I have to go with Mephisto. Yeah. I mean, again, I think this is a hard character to nail, and Sacha Baron Cohen nailed it. Like, I was just like, ooh, this is just enough camp. It's just enough weirdness, but it's also a little sexy. Like, it had everything that I wanted him to be in there. Basic glitch. I mean, I hate to put it on him, but I think like Parker was so pathetic by the end that I was like, get out of here.
Ow, it hurts, please. Give me my powers back, please, mommy.
I want my blankie. I need my hood.
Please, give me my blankie back. She's in like a mom, she said, good. And walked away.
And his like grand scheme was like, I want to eat a whole pig at my dad's table.
Ooh, I'm doing rich things.
Yeah.
Eat the caviar.
Rich. Hey, try that caviar. You know it's expensive.
Respectfully, if someone was like, "You're filthy rich now," I would also be like, "Get me a helicopter."
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that first day, I'm going hog wild.
Yeah, I'm going crazy. I'm like, I want a private jet that's bad for the ozone.
Yeah.
I want to be Taylor. I think I agree with Gina. I'm like, you got to give it to Mephisto. The fact that they also let him slide, saying that like, basically Dormammu could lick his butthole. Is insane. I think it was improvised. I don't think it was scripted. It was a little too the like what is it? What would you call it? The British like words that he used was a little too specific for a writer and Ironheart to write in the script.
It's just Sacha Baron Cohen being like, I'll wing it.
He can lick my lily doggy asshole or something like that. And
lick my glorious asshole.
Riri went okay. And when she did that, she went, all right. I thought it was really
eating.
Funny.
Yeah. She's like, well, now I don't want that pizza.
In front of my pizza, and then my basic glitch is absolutely Parker Robinson. He was pathetic by the end, dude. That was embarrassing.
And then iconic, obviously, Daddy Mephisto. You are iconic. You've been iconic for 5 years, my lord. And
wait, what does that mean? What you mean by that, my lord?
Eric sold his soul to him 5 years ago.
Oh, okay. For him to show up in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
I love you so much, Daddy. And then Basic Glitch, I think I'm gonna have to go again with Zeke's neighbor. She's the worst. Heather.
She is the worst.
Get it together. I really thought she was going to die. I thought he was going to be like, is this
She deserved worse than just having her flowers cut.
No, I'm not even going to say it. You guys are going to get mad. But that dog might have had the same ending as Sparky.
No, not the dog.
Look, we're coming for everybody.
That dog's
If I'm angry and I have $1 million worth of tech in my brain and body, I don't understand what sympathy is anymore. I'm like, I'm going crazy. I'm eating that dog.
No, Zeke should have used his enhancements to just fire shit at her house.
What if he
Fire
stole
dog
the
shit
dog
at her house?
and then just like, I'm keeping the dog?
As long as he gives that dog a better life, I'm okay with it.
I don't think Heather treats that dog like a human. Like Heather loved that dog.
I have to confess to you all that Mephisto originally wasn't going to be in this show. I got a glimpse into the future, and it was just going to be a show about Riri's technological experimentation, Natalie as an AI agent, Zeke Stain being a part of it. But at some point, I was getting pizza in the city of Chicago, and sitting across from me was Sacha Baron Cohen or someone who took the form of Sacha Baron Cohen. I don't know really who he was, but he offered me a deal. And he said, what do you want the most in the world? And I say, I want Mephisto to be in the MCU. And I made a deal. I shook his hand. I ate an entire pie that was not a tavern-style pizza, but it was Papa John's square cut.
No!
And then I look, in the booth next to me was Papa from Papa John's. And he said,
so sweaty.
Obama won re-election, so we're going to raise the prices of our pizza. And I said, yikes. And I ate the entire pizza, even though it's got a stretchy material that's also found in yoga mats and the crust. And then reality warped in a weird way where like Kevin Feige, I guess, spilled coffee on his lap and on some other concept art of who was going to be in the show. And all that was left was just Mephisto. So he said, make this happen. And now we have Mephisto in the MCU. And I feel responsible. But I am an agent of Mephisto now. And I can't ever take off my clothes in front of people because there's all kinds of inky black scarring that is stretched across my veins, and I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do.
Turned you into a never nude.
A never nude? Is that what they're called? People that wear too much clothing? Also, again, you guys do not recognize the optics of selling your soul. You guys are choosing for shows to come back on the air. That is an insane...
Yeah, Eric should have out for a better
Should I have asked for more?
Yes!
At least ask for a better pizza.
Oh my God.
Better pizza, better ingredients, Papa John's.
Papa John's. Better pizza, Papa John's. You asked for Papa John's and Mephisto. I love the ideas, but think bigger. You guys are selling your soul. Your souls are worth more than Mephisto and Papa John's and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back.
So you're saying they're also worth the dad's root beer?
Ooh.
On the side?
Ooh.
No, look, and can I get it iced? Can I get it iced cold?
So cold, so bubbly.
Oh my God, you guys, ask for like anything.
Well, that has been my mistake in life, is not asking for enough, and it's been an honor to talk about Ironheart with you all. Everybody, not just you losers on the chat here. I love all you guys. Calvin, Patton, Doe Eyes, Joe Stark, Richard, Francois, Khaleesi, Direwolves, Dylan. Dylan, you're here.
And Dylan.
Shaqwe16. And then I didn't forget about you, Twitch friends. Kobe Wan Kenobi, Christian
Kobe.
Unpronounceable,
That's all
The
our
Void
regulars.
Between, Miss J93, Dami Ella. Thank you all for your gift subs. As always, you guys are the best. Al Sween, IE Yale. You say no love for the Twitch chat, yet here I am.
You guys have to wait for the lag. It catches up eventually.
I'm trying to do multiple things at once. I'm sorry I haven't given you guys the love you so deserve. Marcos Mustache. However, you have been joining us here to celebrate this year one of Mephisto's nativity now in the MCU. We love you all. That's it for us today. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel on YouTube. Give us a follow on Twitch where we do these videos live. Big thanks to Michaela running the show behind the scenes. We love you. Jessica and Gina, follow you guys on your socials, wherever you're on
What was it again?
socials.
Boner Killer 42069?
Yeah. Boner Killer. That's my burner.
That's my burner. That's my burner account, dude.
And be sure to follow the Breakroom on Insta, Twitter, Threads. Follow New Rockstars on all places, and our underground nerdriot.shop. The best ways you can support us. Thank you, late skaters.